Hey everyone, this is Matthew before the camera, and as you know, the Mipad's been out for quite a while and people were amazed about what this new tablet of Xiaomi might have to offer. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Xiaomi, although supposedly as a Chinese I should be proud of this company from my home country, which had just beaten Samsung in terms of smartphone sales volume. Talking about a Chinese skeptic right here. So I've just spent 2 days with a white Mipad and I can't say I'm 100% familiar with the product. But I've decided to do a video on the Mipad versus the Nexus 7 2013 because one, the Mipad is obviously a successor to the iPad mini series, that's for one. And two, already you may find tons of videos on the iPad mini versus Nexus 7 on YouTube. So I said to myself, why not pit this Mipad against the baby of Google right here. So in this video, I'm going to share some thoughts about this new Mipad with this relatively old Nexus 7 2013, which I've been using for over a year now. So design-wise, these two represents two different schools of styles. The Mipad is obviously following iPad's screen ratio of 4:3. And the Nexus 7 is setting itself aside with 16:9. So apparently the Nexus 7 has put more emphasis on one-hand operation and mobility since users are inclined to grab it in portrait mode with one hand and work on the screen with the other. But on the Mipad, you are encouraged to grab the tablet in horizontal mode with both your hands and do the typing with your thumbs. Xiaomi has even gone to such length so as to put a button for disabling the free physical button, just to further ensure a better experience in the horizontal mode. Okay, now let's talk more about the looks of the two tablets. Well, not just the screen ratio that are different, obviously. To me, the Nexus 7 is rather made for male users as it really has this cold hard masculine look with half of its body covered by black soft touch plastic and the other half covered by hardcore Gorilla Glass. But for Mipad, things seems to be a little bit more soft-tuned, especially with this piano paint on its back and making it very glass-like and slippery. And not to forget that the bezels and the corners are round, adding up to the sassiness. So, do you know why Xiaomi is going down this road? I have a theory about this and it has nothing to do with how the iPad mini looks or how the iPhone 5C looks. As you can see, this product is primarily launched in China, so it has to live up to the aesthetic expectation of Chinese consumers. As a result, they have to put in a lot of feminine attribute to it. And why? Well, it's basically an Asian thing. You see, the most hit TV dramas in China are mostly Korean, where guys have to put up tons of makeups to look as feminine as possible so as to get good ratings. So the same logic applies to Xiaomi's Mipad. If Xiaomi wants to make a killing in China out of this Mipad, it has to make it as gay as possible. Okay, moving on with the operating system. Needless to say, the two shares the same origin. Even though Nexus has the purest Google blood and the Mipad adapts the MIUI. Reactivity aside, I have to give MIUI the credit for being more aesthetically pleasing. As you can see, every element is carefully remade to ensure a unified style for the whole OS. And such commitment is carried out from the icons to the status bars and all the way down to the settings screen. But for the Nexus 7, which is 100% generic Android, things are a little bit more tedious. Or rather, I should say all the elements of the OS seem cold and hard in a not so unified manner. And of course, this is partially caused by the fact that the apps on the generic Google Play don't have further processing like those presented in the Xiaomi app market. And this results in all kinds of style mixed up. Now let's talk about the screens. Both models are packed with pixels. The Nexus 7 boasts 323 pixels per inch and the Mipad 326. So in terms of resolution, they are not so different from each other. But what's rather eye-catching is the brightness. In auto mode, the Mipad is significantly brighter than the Nexus. Apparently, Xiaomi has done a better job in maintaining a good visibility while letting the tablet decide the brightness of the screen. Yet in maximum brightness, the Nexus is obviously brighter and sharper, but not as aggressive as the Mi Pad in automatic mode. So right here I have to give a thumbs up to Xiaomi for its excellent software optimization for the automatic brightness adjustment, because usually people won't bother with the manual brightness adjustment, so Xiaomi know damn well that all that matters is a good software optimization for this kind of functionality. And now the cameras. For macro photography, the Nexus 7 seems slightly better than the Mi Pad, even though the picture is a little bit too bright. In terms of color rendering, it is obvious that the Mi Pad has the tendencies to put more red into parts that are in reality white. But for your average landscape photo, Mi Pad totally wins as it turns out. Its camera just had better color rendering and wider angle for the occasion. What's really amazing is the nighttime photo taken with the Mi Pad. It just can beat most tablets available on the market. As for the Nexus 7, you might as well forget about using its camera for nighttime landscape photos. So in my opinion, the Mi Pad really beat the Nexus to the punch, even though it has quite limited functionality compared to the latter one. Because Xiaomi does know what people expect in a tablet's camera. It's not the fancy photosphere, but rather clear and sharp landscape images that count. Well, last thing I'm going to talk about is the 3D graphic capabilities. While both of them are said to be the most advanced by the time they came out, but the differences between the chipsets is way too obvious in benchmark like the 3D Mark. For starter, the Mi Pad loads almost 60% faster than the Nexus in iStorm Extreme. And the same thing happens to Basemark X. So, the NVidia Tegra K1 is no doubt the most powerful chipset for mobile gaming up to date. Personally, I would say that Mi Pad is more preferable for gaming, not only because of its chipset, but also because of its screen ratio of 4:3. Since gaming is a pretty immersive experience, I would prefer a device that encourages the use of both hands in horizontal mode. The Nexus 7 is more like a refined e-book to me. And of course they told you this one is good for gaming too, but frankly, specification aside, this screen ratio 16:9 is more preferable for other usage. Okay, here we are at the end of this video, and you might think I'm overwhelmingly favorable towards the Mi Pad, that I might want to change my Nexus 7 to a Mi Pad. No, for two reasons. First off, the screen ratio of 16:9 of this Nexus 7 is just awesome for reading ebooks and surfing. Well, and that's just what I want in a tablet. Second of all, this Nexus 7 2013 is the swan song of Hugo Barra in Google right before he left the company for Xiaomi, so this tablet signifies a rather important historical event in the high-tech industry. So for the record, I plan on keeping this until 2020. Let's see if I can live up to that promise.